Hey guys, this is Full Awakening. It's our second episode, and we're going to be talking about UFO Disclosure. You guys know your host, Joseph Hunter.
Joe.
My name is Haley. I'm not normally on the show, but I thought I'd join Joey today to talk about this.
She's here to keep me on track.
I am, but we watched most of this live together while it was happening, and we both feel like people should know about it.
You definitely should know about it. You should know about every aspect of your reality. And the fact that we don't know this is terribly troubling, and we're at least attempting, and we'll be hella successful. But we're going to get this to you. But don't stop here. You do your homework. This is a real time, always in the moment. You might be watching this a year from now. It will always be relevant because this is happening in real time, and we got to wake up from it. This is not the Matrix is the perfect analogy to use because it's not even an analogy, but for right now, it's an analogy.
It is. Also, everything we're going to be talking about, all the videos that we're going to be referencing in the description below, the links are to all of it. Really want you guys to check it out. So some of the videos that you're going to watch, you know, they're rather long, but I don't really think that's going to matter. Your curiosity is going to kind of win you over on the UFO alien respect. But keep in mind, that's not really what it's about. That just happens to be the subject that it's being kept from.
Let's get into what it actually is about.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are UFOs, aliens, all that good stuff.
Why would they want to keep that secret from you though? Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, this is the big deal. Lay it out.
Free energy.
Yeah, who likes paying gas, you know? I like my truck, and I plan on getting a freaking Toyota Land Cruiser. It's going to take gas, but that's just until this shit all gets worked out. And then it'll be different.
What I'm trying to do is bring to the light how many corporations would be pissed off if we did hit 0 point energy. The gas industry, power industry.
Oh, sure.
The car industry.
It's huge. Well, the car energy would just have to pivot to the type of motor and an electric motor with a 0 point generator. Your public utilities eventually will retire because every home business will have its own energy source. Now, the only thing you'd really need oil for is chemicals, petrochemicals, plastics, things like that. And I don't think we have 100 years left to fix it. I don't think we have 20.
If we had free energy, most of the hurt and struggle in the world, it wouldn't be like that. Like, there wouldn't be
It
world
doesn't
hunger.
really exist.
There
now.
wouldn't be poverty. There wouldn't be an energy
Well, it does
crisis.
exist,
You know.
The rest of the world will be able to go from having nothing in the way of energy generation, 3 billion people have no power energy at all, to having these systems. And suddenly you're going to see so much happen in the world that is going to be a human advancement. And aside from the air and everything becoming pristine and clean, there are going to be such great opportunities for, the dispossessed people of the world.
So it's all these things, like, why wouldn't people want to fix that? And it's because it's about money, and it's about power over everyone else. You know, there's a very, I wouldn't say a small group, I don't know how large it is, but there is another.
Yeah, it's very small. Compared
to
us, it's tiny. That's why we're not putting up with this shit. They are small. We are the people.
Yeah.
This is our goddamn planet. I'm not cut that out. This is our planet.
This is our planet.
Yeah.
This is our home.
You can stay here, but you gotta quit doing the shit you're doing.
Yeah.
Something I want to say about climate change, okay? Yes, there's climate change, but here's the deal. This world's perfect, and the climate will fix itself like that. COVID was a terrible thing, and we all have a perspective on that. But what I think most people don't know is that during COVID, we were all in our houses. The earth started healing itself in record time. I mean, this is documented scientific proof that you damn sure don't know about because they don't want you to know that. But it didn't take long. I mean, however long COVID was, I was messed up. I mean, I don't remember COVID that much. I needed that time to regroup.
Everybody's
something I
lockdown
was going
time
through.
was different. So
Yeah,
around the world, but you could see that like rivers and canals and anywhere with water was starting to clear up immensely.
The whistleblowers that we're going to highlight are chiefly 3 of them, and the reason why those 3 is because Shawn Ryan, if you guys haven't checked him out, he's an American badass, and he's got a great podcast or a YouTube channel. I guess it's a podcast. I don't really know what that is. I guess it's what I'm trying to do.
It's called the Shawn Ryan Show.
Shawn Ryan Show. And it's amazing. So he's a ex-Marine, and he's typically, you'll see him interviewing ex-Marines, high-level people, and whatever he's talking about.
And he interviews Dr.
Cool.
Greer, by the way. He's got 2 episodes, number 48 and number 65.
Yeah.
So those are in the links below as well.
And the whistleblowers, the 3 whistleblowers are also on his show for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours at different times. I don't know how long he talks to them.
He talks to them for about an hour each.
He gets into it. So like these guys are up on stage on June 12th talking, trying to get this out. They're on a time schedule. But on the Shawn Ryan Show, he's able to get into it. And he saw the June 12th event. He was in the room because here's the thing, this June 12th, the press was there. It was the National Press Club.
It was for the press.
It was for the press. The press was showing you the sub, the 5 guys going down to the Titanic. The press was in the room while this was being talked about. This was not being talked about on your news sources. Why is that?
Look, I don't trust the mainstream media anyways.
Well, no, they're asset of this group.
A lot of people do. And a lot of people don't put any legitimacy on anything unless Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC. The population that doesn't believe in the mainstream media is just continuously getting larger.
It's probably half the population.
I mean, that would be the biggest story in the world. We've recovered an ET craft with bodies. On every news network, they're all covering it. And then just like that, it's gone. No photos, no nothing. What happened? Why do you think it just disappeared?
Every one of our 750 Disclosure Project folks are first-hand witnesses, meaning that they weren't people trying to find out like David Grush was. They're people who actually were in there. Interesting that the media won't interview them.
But on the Shawn Ryan Show, he gets into it with these 3 guys, and it's crazy and fun and awesome. And it's a better breakdown of what you're going to watch on June the 12th, or it's an add-on, and especially with Eric Hecker, because Eric Hecker gets up on stage, 10 minutes, says what he needs to say, and he's off there. But on the Shawn Ryan Show,
you a parting gift on the Shawn Ryan Show.
Oh yeah,
Eric Hecker.
Yeah. Eric Hecker's a freaking beast. I want to meet him. I want to meet all these guys.
Yeah.
And throughout the course of this show, if we can ever pull this together and it be something that people would want to be part of and on, we hope to have these incredible guests. And it will actually probably not look a whole lot like this. I don't want to be hung up on this whole UFO thing. There's another part of this that is really what our passion is.
This is really just to draw you in, because you can't, everybody's always been curious about if UFOs are real, or that, the sign of I want to believe, and it has the UFO in the middle. So you can believe now.
Yeah, I didn't grow up, but as an adult, I watched Ancient Aliens all the time. Haley watched it with her dad.
Every Saturday.
Yeah, you guys already love this stuff, but there's a lot of questions because
most of the information out there is just misleading. It's not true. There's very little truth out in the general public, I would say.
There is truth, though.
But there is truth.
There is truth, and we will be making lots of links to that. There's a what was it, Muldoon? Linda Moulton Howe. She has a testimony on the Citizens UFO hearings, and she's made a lot of documentaries. And I'll be honest with you, those documentaries are wild as hell, because she's been immersed in this for so long, and she's a Pulitzer Prize winner, Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. And so high-level people seek her out to try to get their story out because they know that she is a trusted source. And so whenever you watch her documentaries, it's so damn wild that you just think you're watching some crazy sci-fi show. But it's not. It's rooted in absolute fact, and that she has done her research and her homework. She's hella trusted. It's just so wild, it will seem unbelievable. But I probably shouldn't get into what I understood when I was watching that. I won't right now. I might get into that later.
I also want to add that this is not the first press club event. This isn't the first disclosure. It happened back in 2001, actually in May
May the 9th.
Yeah,
May the 10th. May the 10th. It was a couple of days. So
I think it was like a 3-day event.
It probably was. I know that I've heard people refer to May the 10th and May the 9th.
Okay, so
because that David Wilcock was talking about the guy breaking down on stage on May the 10th, and on May the 9th he didn't. So I guess just all of it got to him, and he broke down on stage, and how that energy of seeing that man and his heartache, that's intense.
Yeah. So just keep in mind, this isn't the first time, and nobody has ever heard of UFO disclosure back in 2001. I know for a fact.
Yeah.
So this has happened before. It's happening now again this year. So let's get on top of it.
And here's the deal about disclosure then, disclosure now. I believe in the
reason
past
it didn't work then.
In the past, they were not ready for this.
No.
I think now they are understanding that this is unstoppable. Resistance is futile, and so they've had 20-something years to get on top of it, and we are seeing a slow rollout, but it is going to roll out. It's going to get out there. They actually want it to get out there, but because of the way this has been handled in the past, they have to be very careful about it. So you're not going to get this on the news. You're not going to get this that way. You're going to get it from podcasts, from Shawn Ryan, Danica Patrick, all of these people that are us. We want this out. We're not hemmed up. We didn't sign any damn agreement. We didn't sign our lives away, so I can say whatever the hell I want. Greer says whatever the hell he wants because he didn't sign shit, and he's never will. He said, I ain't signing nothing. I don't want any kind of clearance. I want control of my voice. And he has control. And we're taking back our control. We're going to take it back, operating on love and understanding who we are, understanding that the people that have done this to us is also us. So at the end of the day, you can believe in Jesus all you want, but you have to be Jesus. What would Jesus do? Think about that as you take this information in and understand what's been going on. Let the anger build, but before it comes out of your mouth and you take action, you better settle in with it. This Haley wants to talk about how dangerous this material is. Or have you already said that about how the little bit of information?
No, but I am going to drop a clip of Greer talking about it, and it was actually a killing incident.
A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And this was my concern when David Grush started talking about an event where, the aliens were murdering people. I'm going, I know that incident. That was us. And I don't think he understands because he's a young man. The problem of having a little bit of information on this and thinking you know a lot is that you're going to step into a booby trap. And the booby trap is being played by the very unconstitutional criminals that people like him were trying to uncover.
He was just in the news.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And came out that there was a downed craft. We retrieved it with bodies, correct?
Yes. My concern is that when you go from that to then falling into the clutches of folks in the UFO community who then start giving you these tall tales of all these horrible things the aliens have been doing, I'm going, yes, but you haven't been read in to that part of the project. So this is like an onion, a stinking onion. You peel 500 layers of this onion back, and there's 500 more.
Alright guys, so you've heard us talk about the 5 whistleblowers on June 12th. We're also going to talk about what else Greer gets into. The Black Budget Project, secret government, legal UFO and UAP operations and locations, so they know. He knows the people that are doing this and where they are doing this. The shadow government that presidents aren't privy to, they're not read in. Congress, like, they don't know what's really going on. Like, it's a good term, the shadow government. You know, it's behind the
Deep
scenes.
state, we know it as deep state, shadow government.
It's like black budget of the black budget.
And what it consists of, that's more of the government thing, but there's a lot of aspects of this. And this red pill show that we are creating for you, we don't really want to get into this, but we kind of have to. On Full Awakening, I guess we will get into it because we've already started with the theme of the red pill, so we'll carry that out. This goes across all systems that you are known today, that you're like, well, we know government's messed up. I mean, everybody knows that, and they can get down with it, and it's easy. But it goes deeper than that. This is a ugly, Dr. Greer refers to it as a stinking onion. You peel off layers and layers, and there's just more layers. But in the midst of those layers, man, it's deep and it's messed up, and we're in it. So government is easy to wrap your head around. The rest of it might not be. But regardless, this is the red pill. So just chill, okay? Just chill.
You can start here.
Yeah.
You can choose at any time whether or not you want to continue watching or turn it off.
We'll always be here for you.
Yeah.
And we understand the difficulty. So, you know, like, we'll be here.
Yeah, he was...
We'll
I remember
be here.
when he first started talking about this and showing me all this material and stuff, and part of me was like, heck yeah, I'm interested, and then the other part was like, well, what does this mean if this is true? And then it was at that moment that you're like, you can feel the fear, and you're like, you know what, perhaps I don't want to know about this, like, don't show me that, you know, like, you feel that push back of like, I want to stay in my little world, I want to stay in my little snow globe of perfection or whatever. And
every single person has thought Cypher probably made the right damn move, you know. And here's the cool thing, I tell my clients this all the time in the process of waking up and using the Matrix as an analogy. You know, Neo, they give him the red pill and it's a tracker, so they go and they find him in that pod where he's hooked up to the machine and has been dreaming his reality of being you know, Mr. Anderson, working at his 9-to-5 job, all that stuff. That was a simulated reality for him. Well, this is an analogy, but there are a hell of a lot of bleed overs, and the more we go, the more we're going to bleed over. But for now, the pod that you are in, thank God, is your body. So whenever you wake up, you don't have to worry about shit being all messed up, you know, buildings collapse, ruins, and just miles and cities of, you know, nothing. That's not what it is. This is our world. We're just taking it back. So you're the pod, okay? But here's the deal. Neo was inside that pod, and inside your pod, there is a higher self, and that's who we're going to connect with. That's that red pill. That guy said, I don't need the red pill, bro. I know. I'm waiting on you to figure out what I already know.
Catch your breath.
Okay.
Dr. Greer also gets into top secret witnesses on ARV and ET crash retrieval teams. Yes, people have been picking up the pieces of this the whole time and shutting them indoors, so we don't know.
And this might be a good time to say this because you guys are listening to us, and if you're coming into my barbershop, you're seeing all this stuff that I have on my TV, but then when you go home and you flip on the news, you run up to CNN or whatever outlet is covering the so-called hearings, you know, with David Grush talking to AOC and Matt Gaetz and Tim Burchett. Dr. Greer talks a lot about those players, especially Tim Pritchett and Matt Gaetz, Senator Luna. She's really cool. So anyway, you can flip over and see that. That's the Dog and Pony Show version, the slow roll. This is not a slow roll. If you're watching my show, this isn't the slow roll. This is freaking tap wide open. That is for the masses. Years from now, they will start to let this sink in that way, but we're bypassing all of that, okay? That's gonna be slow. The people that they're interviewing are literally people that had very little to do with it. They know very little, okay? They don't want to really show you people that know what they're talking about because they can't control that. The Citizens UFO hearings that you will see that I'm going to step by step go through them. Haley's gonna fix me up to where I can have a little window, and I'm going to watch that with you, and I'll pause it from time to time because I will be able to help you make a lot of connections, because I've been watching these people on documentaries on years of some of the things where they had been trying to get this out. I've seen a lot of that stuff, and I can stop it and say, all right, now right here is this person what they're saying, because it's not clear in that particular context. I'm not very clear right now, but I think if I do it that way, I will be clear, because I will always have something to pull me back.
All right, in addition to the 5 whistleblowers and the secret government, the black budget projects, the shadow government, there's gonna be a list on this video of
we're looking at it.
Derek Garcia. He's an attorney on here. He's talking about the crimes committed by the illegal, covert UFO related projects. Okay.
Listen to this list. It's a huge laundry list, and we're probably not going to show
We're just gonna tell you a couple of them real quick. Following major crimes is treason against the United States, murder, mass murder, torture, kidnapping and abduction, money laundering, illegal surveillance, theft of intellectual property, framing of innocent people, government corruption, blackmail, bribery, and
it's too much.
If you want to add any more,
Did you say false imprisonment?
False imprisonment, witnesses and whistleblower intimidation. So
You would never have gone along with that agenda. And if you hadn't gone along with it and you knew about it, they would flat out kill you. Absolutely. Like the Secretary Forrestal, for a fact, was thrown out of a hospital window and killed. General George S. Patton, in an alleged automobile accident, was killed because he would want to disclose to the public the anti-grav device that looked like a saucer that we got from Germany in 1945. How do I know this? Because Paul Mellon, one of the few billionaires in the world who funded Adolf Hitler, along with Prescott Bush, Henry Ford, and Watson of IBM. Paul Mellon was one of the few billionaires at the end of World War II. Paul Mellon told John Warner IV that when the war ended, they went over and grabbed this thing because Adolf Hitler, his aerospace geniuses, were working on this disc that was not jet or rocket, it was electrogravitic, it was electromagnetic.
That's also why Dr. Greer is doing this. He's giving these people something to stand on, so they can voice what they have been through. And the
people have been through shit. They're terrified. They can't speak up. So they can now. There's actually been a law passed, and we should definitely get into that. I don't actually know a lot about it, other than I just know kind of remember a couple of years ago this being in the news, and didn't really understand it then. And I'm really just pulling from little memories that I have. I've got a lot of that stuff that I do want to get into, and it's going to involve more of the shadow government and the really weird stuff that we don't really like to talk about. but regardless, unfortunately, we know a lot about it. So there's been a law passed. So if anybody that's watching my show, listen to Shawn Ryan, listen to Dr. Greer, there is no legal obligation to anyone anymore. We have gotten to the point to where the people that are actually in power understand this to the point to where they're trying to put their foot down. So whistleblowers are popping up all the time. Nobody's losing their life anymore, okay? There's a hell of a lot of intimidation still going on, and that intimidation involves losing everything you own, possible imprisonment, but that doesn't really happen anymore because at this stage, they're really just using a hell of a lot of intimidation. And people that don't know that, they don't know that those NDAs that they signed are worthless. They were illegal from the beginning, and so they never had any grounds in the first place. They were not government documents. They were sold as government documents, but they weren't. They're this shadow government illegal bullshit. So if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the Shawn Ryan show, you haven't seen Dr. Greer pleading for people to come forward and tell what they know. These whistleblowers are heroes. You know, they were heroes when they were serving their country, but now they are really serving their country. They're serving the world, this planet as a whole. You know, if you move away from thinking logistically and where you are, this is a planet. So we have to figure this stuff out. There has been times on this planet, it's hard for us to think about this right now, but there has been times on this planet where there were peace. I think this war and energy that we have, it has always been there because it really came from somewhere else. I don't think that is inherently ours. I'm listening to people that very well understand that, and that's what they're saying, and I'm believing them because I know that I don't want to hurt anyone. The typical person doesn't. The Russian people are not out to get us. The Chinese are not out to get us. This is a manufactured reality. Who does that benefit? It's not theirs. There's more of us. We, the people, are taking our shit back. It's always been ours. They tricked us into thinking it wasn't. It's ours. We want it.
And something else on that, you know, I'm sure, you know, the tax-paying people, we pay a lot of money back to our government, and you don't really see a whole lot of change outside of just the exchange.
Doubling down on this system is what you see.
So, like, ask yourself, where's all that money going to?
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point.
What's being funded with that? Because, well, from what I'm seeing from where I am, you know, there's not a lot of good I don't see anything being done with that money, so it's going somewhere though.
I'm going to cut to the chase. I'll tell you where that money's going. It's going into building UFOs, building civilizations that you guys don't know about. I mean, this show's going to be in depth and it's going to get crazy, and we're going to point you to some material to start loosening you up to this, but understand that all that money that we are putting into this system that we're not really seeing a benefit, there's a hell of a benefit, but it's not for us. They have created some badass stuff that they're privy to. We're not. And it's ours. We paid for it. We want our shit back, man. We want to even know what the shit is. If you stick with us, you're going to start hearing little whispers about what that stuff is, and it's killer. We want it. We can have it now. It's already done. So we don't need to cure cancer. We don't need to create hover car or flying vehicles. We've done it. Guys, we just have to have the ability to access it. And that's what this show's about. That's what Dr. Greer is trying to do. Shawn Ryan is doing his damnedest.
There's lots of people out there working towards this. Yeah. But I will add in, and Greer also talks about this. You know, us as the people, we're not exactly ready for those technologies, but it's not necessarily even accessing, like, you wouldn't want just anybody having a UFO, okay? He talks about how that's literally you could have a bomb across the world in 5 seconds, and that's it. You know, he doesn't want that to be used in a bad way, and he understands that.
So I always tell people, forget all the mythology and everything. It's an alternative energy system. Now, it's a very advanced one because it also flies. Now, to be really clear, I am not advocating the release of the things that fly yet. Why? It's a missile delivery system. So you don't really want to open source an electrogravitic anti-gravity system that allows terrorists in Mogadishu to get a dirty bomb over downtown DC in 2 or 3 seconds. The things that would sit at your house, like your heat pump, or in the hood of your car, that would run your car or your factory or your business or your home, those devices that are not things that fly, those are just pulling energy from the fabric of space-time around it. The volume of space in a coffee mug has enough potential energy to boil off all the oceans of the world. Tapping into it to run the entire United States, the whole world, be like taking a thimble of water out of the Great Lakes.
The secrecy is a threat in and of itself. That's what we're trying to disclose and inform people of.
The secrecy around UFOs is a threat to the national security. He didn't say the UFOs were. He said the secrecy around it is a threat to the national security. So when people ask me, are the UFOs a threat to the national security? I said the man-made ones absolutely are. The extraterrestrial ones aren't. But the secrecy around it in its aggregate is a dire threat to world and national security, no question.
Everything that is in this press club event that we've been talking about, Dr. Greer has 3 major, I know he has more than 3, but he's got 3 major documentaries that we want you to check out. Link is in the description below. Go check all of them out. 2 of them are free. I put links on there. The other one you're going to have to rent. It's very new. First
Prime,
one's Unacknowledged.
They're on there.
Yeah, I'll put the link of the free ones in there. So it's Unacknowledged, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which is the CE5 protocol. It's very cool. We have actually done that protocol, and well, it worked. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. And then
there's
the
an
last
app you
one
can get that he will talk about on that, and I have it on my phone. And we're going to continue to do that. And one of these days, man, we plan on going out on an excursion with Greer, or we're down to go do this anytime. We talk all this stuff about UFOs. I've never seen a UFO, and I don't even care that much about it. You would think people that know me and they're watching this show, you would think that we live and breathe UFOs.
Yeah.
We don't.
This is just gonna be like one part to, but this, like we said before, is not really about UFOs.
No.
It's about something much bigger. But the last documentary,
changing the world.
The last documentary is The Lost Century and how to reclaim it. That's what Greer's working towards. We are going to reclaim this, you guys. We have the power. Hey guys, so we're at the end of the episode. Did a run through of June the 12th, so we want you guys to check that video out. Link is in the description below with some others from Shawn and Ryan. Please check all of them out and have fun with it, and enjoy your dissection. And also hit the subscribe button so that you see the next episode. And tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so happy holidays. And Joe's got a note for you.
You can't soar like an eagle when you're flying with a bunch of turkeys. So let's eat the turkey tomorrow and enjoy it, but don't be the turkey. And we love you very much. We are thankful for you. We are grateful for you. And as you go through tomorrow on Thanksgiving, try interjecting the word grateful along with thankful, and see if you can catch the different energy of those words. Thankful's great, but it is also coming from a place of lack, or like you're thankful, but grateful means you have this and you're settling with the blessing and the gratefulness. It's just different. But have fun with that kind of stuff. We're gonna have to catch ourselves. But we love you and happy Thanksgiving.